Hey there, in this video I'll be going over how to scrape Google Maps, specifically if you're looking to scrape local businesses to help you do some cold outbound. So in this video I'll be sharing sort of the entire workflow, so how to start from your Serper.dev into a clay table, and I'll as well be adding the clay table template in the description so you can easily just take it and sort of duplicate it for yourself and make any edits if needed. So first things first, you'll have to create an account for Serper.dev, and this is just the Google search API. So once you create that, just integrate it with with Clay, and I won't be going over how to do that specifically in this video, but just wanted to let you know that this is the best source that I've found for Google Maps scraping, and I think it does the trick for most people. So step 2 of this workflow would actually just be creating your own clay template, so you can just have just copy paste the template that I'll be adding in the description. Feel free to just take that as your starting point. Another thing is we're doing this based off of zip codes, just because it's a very effective way to do this. And we're as well, in this context, we're as well just targeting the US. Those are some things to keep in mind. One thing for the zip codes is just use ChatGPT to do it. So first, just ask in a chat, hey, give me all the zip codes in every state. It'll give you a range. And then once you've sort of determined what state you want, like let's say California, let's do this, and then say zip codes in. And then this, just because not every single number is a new zip code in a state. So I'll say CSV. So anyways, it's going to create that for us. And then if you were doing this at scale, you would do that. And then you would as well, you could even just say, hey, give me every single zip code possible. And then you could run that. Okay. Anyways, so you would do that, and then you would eventually get a list of zip codes that you would just import as a new table inside of Clay. So you'd go in sources, import from CSV, and you would import that CSV right here, and then you'd have your entire list. So right now, I'm not going to do that just because for the sake of this video, it's not necessary. But with Clay, as you might know, you're limited to 50,000 rows. So that's exactly what you'll do. Make sure you're under 50,000. If you're over, maybe just create another sort of table duplicating this workbook, or it's sort of, there's a lot of options for you to sort of work around that. But anyway, so let's say you have a zip code. You're going to go and create an HTTP request. And then what you'll do is, first change, HTTP column, change the method to post. This is the endpoint you want to use. And then this is all that we're putting in the body. So Q for the question, and then this church is sort of the keyword or thing that you're looking for. So this could be HVAC, this could be solar, this could be, what else could it be? Vape shops. It could be a ton of different sort of keywords that you might use in Google. So feel free to put in whatever you want there. And then this costs 1 credit per run to actually run. So I'll just show you what that looks like. 1 credit, and then it gave us the places. And then we create this, or we use the send row or table data to send it to our second table. So that is what we have right here. Table 2 is for the companies, where so all the information comes through. We normalize the domains, normalize the company names, get the domains if it's missing, just in case. And then we also get a generic email. So just double check for any like infos, anything like that we might want to get. And then as well, this is the prompt right here for finding leadership. So here we're looking for sort of owner, founder, CEO, general owner, anything of that nature. Do research. Here are sort of the things you can look at, and I want you to output it in JSON for us, because for us, what we do right after we get it is we send it to a third table to enrich at the lead level. So one of the conditions on this is like make sure it's high or at least medium. Like if it's unsure of the leadership, like let me just add a few more. I'll just go random just because we want to, because if you're too close between each other, it's just going to pick up the same company. So we don't want that. And then it can actually pick up, I think, up to 10. I might be mistaken on that. I think it might actually be 20. So anyways, you want a big enough range of zip codes, and then just before it sends. Again, I probably sent too many, but it is what it is. So here, as you can see, I just want to show a few that might be in the zero or in the low section for leadership. But as you can see, we're enriching any missing domains if needed, just so we actually have something reliable, and then getting a generic email, and then, okay, perfect. So right here. So this company couldn't find anything, so that's perfect. And then this one as well. So we'll still trust Medium because we do validate if we can find an email for that person. And if we can't, then it is what it is. And we won't email that person. So then what we go into the third table is, so right here, we send all the information that we just found for each company. And then we send the lead data as well from this verified leadership into another table. And then as well, actually, I'll just demo real quick how to create one of those tables. So you'll just go add new enrichment, and then you assign the people, or I'll actually just give you a full demo. So you'll go send, I think it's just send row data. Yeah, or send table data. And then you'll select. So as you can see, like you see how we're sending like send 8 rows. It's because these, there's 8 people in this, and that's how we set it up in the JSON, right? So we want each single person sort of gets a breakdown of, if possible, we'll get their LinkedIn, but looks like these guys all don't exist on LinkedIn. It's also one of the benefits of, or one of the reasons, we run Google Maps campaigns is because sometimes people just don't exist on LinkedIn. So if your only source is like Apollo or Sales Nav, it's just, you're kind of stuck and like not able to get extra additional people, especially if those businesses tend to be local businesses. Then you just don't get full coverage. But anyway, so send table data, instead of just send row of each item. And then you're going to go into, what's it called? I think it's called verified leadership. And then you'll go to the people, click this, and this sends all 8 items in that array to your next table. That's how you would create one of those, but you don't need to because you have the template. So then it sends all of that information to our leads workflow, where each lead is sort of added. If we can get their phone number, we add that as well. And then their company address, category, we get their basic generic email. We validate that just to make sure if it, just to see if it's valid. If it is valid, I'm actually going to update this, but if it is valid, or if it's not valid, or you know what, I think no matter what, we actually run the personal, because we'd rather, let's say for this guy right here, like Shane, we'd rather send Shane an email to his personal, but as a fallback, we have his generic email that we can send to. So as long as it passes validation, we're going to send to his personal, or personal also like as in business, but like his like Shane at email, if that makes sense. And then we just double check which provider they're from, just because we want to segment and test on that. And then as well, another thing you can do is, and another column in here, if you're going to set up different campaigns for business emails and personal emails, you can do that as well. And I do really recommend it. We don't have any in this setup, but if you did have any like at Hotmail, at Google, at iCloud, then those people would be added to a personal campaign. And then here, this is very much up to your discretion. Like this is how we set up campaigns, just because we're adding to Bison and then assigning it to which campaign that person might be in. But you could really, this just serves as like the base of scraping Google Maps, really how you want to develop this per client. I think it makes a lot of sense to sort of build off the template and then add your sort of specifications on top of that. But yeah, so this is how the entire flow works. Let me know if you have any questions. And as I said at the beginning of the video, the template will be in the description. So feel free to take this, make adjustments to it, and make it your own. All right. Thank you, and have a good one.